Hi, I'd like to talk to you today for a few minutes about Tandemloc's ISO corner fittings. Corner fittings are found on ISO freight containers, and ISO freight containers are the means by which most of the merchandise that we use every single day are shipped in worldwide. And the corner fittings are located in each corner of the container, and they are literally, really, the backbone of the cargo container. The cargo container and the ISO corner casting are both controlled by a worldwide standard, ISO specifications. These specifications are recognized worldwide, and they dictate the dimensions and ratings of both the container and the corner fittings. And those specifications have stated that all lifting and all tying down must be through the corner fitting. So clearly the corner fitting is the backbone of the cargo container, since all of the loads that a container will see must go through the corner fitting. So very important product. As you can see, I have 4 different corner fittings here on the table. And what I'd like to do is go over the differences between the 4 corner fittings. And I'm saying 4, and there are 8 on the container, and that's because there are 2 of each type of corner fitting to outfit a container. So what I have in my hand right here is a top corner fitting, and a top corner fitting has what I call a shield-shaped hole in its end wall. And I'm showing that to you right now. That is the end wall. That's the top of the corner fitting, the big slot, as indicated here on this model container. You can see that we have end holes. We have these big top slots. So the top corner fitting has the shield. A bottom corner fitting, however, when you look at it, turn this over to a bottom, and you can see that the hole is just a simple oval shape. Now that oval shape is also found on the side of the corner fitting, and it's also found on the side of the top corner fitting. There's the top with the shield, and there's your side hole. So these holes are the sockets, if you will, that different types of equipment are to engage in order to do the lifting or the tying down. So these openings are controlled by ISO, and manufacturers like Tandemloc design products to fit in these holes. Very simple. The beauty of it is, because the world is following these standards, you can be confident that a cargo container can be handled quite readily throughout the world. We talked about tops and bottoms. Now we have to talk about the rights and the lefts. There are 2 top rights, 2 top lefts, 2 bottom rights, and 2 bottom lefts, 8 in all, that make up a container. And in order to determine which is the top right and which is the top left, you reference by looking at the end of the container. So we look at this end of the container. We know these are top corner fittings, obviously. This is the top right. This would be a top left, bottom right, bottom left, and so on. If you go around to the back of the container, it's the same thing. Top right, top left, bottom right, and bottom left. If you go to the side of the container, you'd say, well, that's a top right. No, you have to reference it from the end. So that's the key. Look at the end of the container, top right, top left, and so on. So once you identify, well, this is a top corner fitting because of its shield, it's now just very simply, where does this go? Is this a top left or a top right? Well, it's rather simple. You look at the corner fitting, and your side wall being blank and your other wall being blank, and there's a blank wall. Those blank walls go to the interior of the cargo container. So using this model, this being a top, this would line up to here. There's your side hole, end hole. This is a top right. So it's simple. Looking at a bottom corner fitting, once you identify that it's a bottom, nothing but oval holes here, I like to turn it over and get it so that the slot is running in the long direction of the container. There's your end hole, there's your side hole, and so this corner fitting is at bottom right. So it's really very simple. Simple products, heavy duty products, and very critical products, the corner fittings. The Tandemloc corner fittings not only meet the ISO standards, but our corner fittings have American Bureau of Shipping certification, and commonly known as ABS. And the American Bureau of Shipping has gone into the foundry in which these castings were made. They've certified the processes that that foundry incorporates to produce the product, and they also certify the chemical and physical analysis of the steel that is used to ensure that it does meet the parameters outlined in ISO 1161. So very important, the critical piece of the cargo container, and they're not something to take lightly, these products. I failed to mention before that this shield shape for the top corner fitting, they made it different so that in the early days of containerization, they wanted to be able to allow the lifter to use typical hooks. And a typical hook still fits very nicely in that in the top hole and pokes out the end hole. We have a problem with that arrangement because, as you can see, the tip is sticking way out, and that tip could very easily in operations get snagged into the side hole, let's say, of an adjacent container, and you could bend or snap the tip off. You also can easily bang the tip into the side wall of an adjacent container and cause some damage. So very quickly after the corner fitting was created, we came up with fittings such as this. This is a Tandemloc ISO top lift lug, and it is specifically made to fit in the top hole of a cargo container corner fitting. Drop it in, and we turn it, drop that gravity plate in there. That prevents it from twisting out. And so now your lifting is above the plane of the cargo container, much less of an opportunity to cause damage, and these are very popular. So that's just an example of one of the many products that Tandemloc manufactures to fit into corner fittings for the lifting or the tying down of containers. So we thank you for listening today, watching, and invite you to look at our website and look at not only the corner fittings, which by the way are available in aluminum and stainless steel as well, but also to look at the various assemblies that we have to lift containers and different fittings to secure them and so on. So again, we thank you very much for watching today.